Castle.
Why, hello, everybody out there in comic book world, land, thing, whatever. How are you all doing? It's me, Vaughn. I'm up late writing, and I thought, damn it, I shouldn't have written anything. I should have let them see me start from a blank page, but I just started writing because I just like to do it. I love making comics. I've been making them since I was 8 years old. And I recently did a review of Magic #1 by Marvel Comics, and it got me itching and thinking about my own ideas for the character of Magic and a little story we could do with her. And I ended up writing a whole outline. Yes, you heard me right. Pardon me. I did a whole outline. And in this outline, I told a little, I don't know, I would call it like maybe a double size comic magic story. Something fun, dark, and awesome. Now, who is the character of Magic, you may ask? I'm glad you asked. Magic is a Russian blondie hottie from Marvel Comics who is the sister of Colossus and has powers she obtained in Limbo, but also mutant powers. She's a mix. Her character is, and her purpose and her hook is the fun mix of the X-Men, of the teenager with superpowers and mutant ability, and they're an outcast in their own world. But she also travels into the dark world of Limbo, and she has powers like a soul sword, which is made of her own soul that comes out of her body, and she has teleportation discs. I don't know if the teleportation discs are from the world of Limbo and Magic, or if they're from her mutant ability. I can't remember. I might have to check my notes on that. I did take some notes. I like to research a little bit when I write stuff, especially if it's not my character. I decided to do this fan fiction in front of you guys and let you see me doing a script. What else can I say about Magic? I really like her, and I think she has the possibility to be really cool. She is the X-Men meets the archaic. She is the X-Men meets magic and darkness and things otherworldly from hell. She's fun like that. She's Colossus's sister, which there's something really neat about that too. And one of her abilities I always noticed was that she gains armor on just like part of like one leg and one arm. And I'm like, why just one? Or is that just the beginning? Could it be a full set of armor later? Or have they already done that? I don't think they have. They never explain if that's like more of her magic ability or is that her mutant ability. I don't know. She's related to Colossus, who gives himself metal skin. Let me think. Maybe she's giving herself metal skin too, but it's just got more of an armory feel for her. Same mutant ability, just different results genetically. I don't know. We're going to have to make a script about it. And I put that in, guys. I'm putting stuff in. So basically, I wrote a little outline. If you like my work and you like watching people work on things and talk about it, this video could be for you. And if you like comic book, what it takes to make comic books, this could be for you. Or if you yourself are trying to learn how to make kick-ass comic books, then and write and what it's like when you're writing a script, this could be for you. Let's try to get into it. Let's just stop rambling and get to jamming on this because I want to write this shit. I already wrote this so far, and I'll tell you guys about it. It's called Magic Tragic Kingdom. It's a little fan fiction by Vonster here. And I have a quote at the beginning. Tell me where it is you take refuge from yourself. Alexander Pushkin. So that's our little setup. And then I, as you can see, I already wrote page 1, panel 4, and then pages 2 and 3. We're going to open to a double page spread. Nice. I would recommend with your opening, start with a splash or open to like a splash or a double page and really hook your readers by then. As a rule, at least try to. I know different stories will call for different intros, so that doesn't mean you always have to do it, but try it out. It's a pretty powerful way to get the reader in. So I already wrote this. You should have seen me write it from the start, but I'm going to get back into it now. I hope you guys will ride along and help me out. Help me write the dark adventures of Magic, this great character for Marvel, and just do a little fan fiction as an exercise, Let's have fun with it. I put here, as you can see, we open in a massive black fortress of Limbo. It looms over ruinous lands. A trail of blood smears across the sands into a massive doorway to the fortress, fading into the dark. This all can be changed later. I just started. Inside the castle, the trail of blood smears across stone floors to tragic, a dark, demonic version of magic. She sits on a throne surrounded by demons that pile upon one another out of frame. She is coated in blood and grinning widely. So I don't think they've ever explained why magic kind of demons out. She demons out into what's called the dark child, where she gets horns and wings and like freaking reverse joint hoof legs and shit, like a tail. So she becomes like hot demon chick. And I'm sure they've done different versions of it, in different stories, but they don't even explain it. And I'm just like, we're going to explain that. How could I not take advantage of that? They'll probably do that in the new Magic series, and I'll be sad. But I'll also have written it here, so at least I'll have fun. Close on magic as she wakens with a fright in her bed in the dead of night. So we're opening up, nightmare. Okay, cliche, but let's make this nightmare wake up interesting. She leans over with her finger on a switch. What? Wait. On a switch. It's over a switch. Wait, no, it's on with her finger over a switch on a lamp resting on the nightstand. So she's going to turn on the lamp like she just had a bad nightmare, and she's calling out to her boyfriend. Okay? So she's sleeping with her boyfriend in this shot. I know Magic, they tried to make her like pansexual, and I've talked about that. I believe it or not, that's true. I looked that up. She's not pansexual. Shut up. Don't tell me. Don't make characters that want to fuck everyone they meet in Marvel and for like a teenager TV like series. What are you fucking insane? What are you trying to do to our teenagers in America, man? Get off my dick. Get off our dicks. All right. So, what should this double page spread be? Well, I'll tell you what it says in my notes, boys and girls. I wish I could have my outline that I wrote up here too, so you can see it. It's totally not a normal outline. I wrote it in paragraphs instead of like a step outline. So here we go. Magic looks up to the corpse of her boyfriend. Yes. Split into perfect sections by by four of her teleportation discs. The sections float in midair above her, dripping with blood, but otherwise the cleanest cut but otherwise clean cuts. Okay. So she wakes up to her boyfriend being absolutely motherfucking decapitated, sliced to ribbons, basically autopsied upon by her own teleportation discs. They didn't teleport him. They cut him to pieces. So what we're doing is we're doing the nightmare opening, but we're doing a nice foreshadowing of the villain, which is we're going to find out is connected to magic. And of course, I'm calling her tragic. Hopefully, no one else already beat me to that. I hope not. As a writer I've seen the thing about making a fan fiction of a Marvel or DC or whatever character with a history is you got to know that character's history. Magic has a history, and she's been in stuff and different things over the years, but she's not as explained as other mutants are, which is interesting. And it's potent for me to get to be the one to explain it and make it really cool so people like her character even more. Because right now everybody's loving her, and rightfully so. I've been a fan for a long time and wondered why she wasn't cooler or why she never got her own book. Now she gets her own book, baby. So this is already done. This is it. I don't think I'm going to use any dialogue for that. I might put in some captions in this first page, so I might write some stuff about that. But for right now, what I like to do before I worry about, and this is a tip you can use before I worry about all the dialogue. Why don't you make sure your images are all perfectly telling the story without needing dialogue? Then that way, dialogue becomes like the icing on the fucking cake. I like that. I like that a lot. Oh yeah, and I would be showing myself, but I'm in my robe. It's late at night. Guys, you gotta cut me some slack here. I gotta be. You don't want the dude teaching you how to make comics. You know what I'm saying, man? All right, page 4. Okay, what do I have in my notes, bro? Let's see what it says. I'm gonna read this. Um, she's he's been split into pieces by teleportation disc. It was no nightmare. It was a message. She sees a mirror with an evil version of her laughing. Her boyfriend is that's kind of too many cliches. The nightmare and the mirror evilly looking back. Eh. Her boyfriend, I think let's make it more interesting and weird. Let's have fun with it. So I'm changing my own notes on the fly. That's part of how I think creators should create. Your notes are definitely a strong guide, and I believe in developing them. Your 3x structure and all your story beats and your ideas for it very like robustly before you ever write a script. However, I'm always open, and this is just a rule of mine to changing, tweaking things as I go and not letting the notes be gospel. All right. Because now I can come up with an idea like this. Like, for instance, from one of the portals, a dark, uh, armored hand emerges. Um, and then we go to the next one. Panel 2. Magic is face to face with tragic. Her dark side come to come to life inside limbo. The newest ruler, limbo, and she wants magic back. So I don't know. Now it's like they have to fight or something, but they're not going to fight. You know what I mean? Magic screams, and the portals um, dis- disappear with a spark. The sections of her boyfriend's body start to fall to the floor. Blow, blood trailing behind them. We're starting bloody, all right? So now she got a face-to-face look with her dark side come to haunt her ass. Tragic Mike was gonna have to say something really cool here, but see how I'm not worried about it right now because I'm sweating something else. Silhouettes of X-Men in Magic's doorway. Um, terrified. Magic with her boyfriend's blood on her face. Um, as she cowers in a corner. All right. Excellent. Excellent. 5 panels is fine. Fine. It's a fine rhythm. Sometimes you want to pay attention and make sure you're not doing too many panels. I'm the type of guy these days that's like 4 panels, 5 panels, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like I like to keep them low and give my artists all this room to fucking just jam. That's how I see it. I like to give my artists room to make the actions bigger if they want to choose to make one panel huge and the other one's a little small. I want that room, and usually keeping it 4 to 5 panels. Once I start getting up to 6, I'm like, okay, you're pushing it. That's just my rule. It doesn't have to be yours. You can do a lot of panels, but in certain types of stories, especially superhero ones, you want to leave room for big dynamic action. If you do too many panels, it's going to get crammed. You're not going to be able to absorb and feel the kinetic action because that's what we're making here. That's the thing people forgot about fucking comics, you guys, is that these are male adventure genre stories. That's what they are. They have things about them that men like that women don't really care about or think are cool or interesting. But then when Marvel became cool because of the movies, and then you get this generation of like young pink haired chicks who are like, well, I think Marvel's cool. I think I'll get me a Netflix deal or something if I work for them. You know, all these weird people who don't really understand it or care or even, I would say, respect what this is. This is a kinetic genre. This is kinetic of dynamicism. This is a genre of powerful, crazy things happening and great images to go with it. And I'm on page 4, and I've already completely sectioned off Magic's boyfriend into chunks of meat. So you're welcome in a world of entertainment. That's one way to start the story, right? I mean, that's going to get someone's attention, right? That's called a hook, my friends. She's got problems. Her own teleportation discs, which I need to teleportate. Oop, I totally messed up spelling of teleportation. Portation. There we go. The sections float in the midair above her. So yeah, this is great. Magic. Let's see. Magic. Who was she dating? You know, silhouette. Tommy. Well, her name isn't. They wouldn't call her Magic. This is at the end of the day. They don't go by their code names all the time. So she'd have to go by her name, which is Ilyana, right? Totally. Does she spell it like Ill? Oh my god, I don't know how to spell her name. Oh my god, I feel like an asshole. Her name's Ilyana Rasput. It's like Rasputana. But is that like a Russian thing to change the last name? Because her brother's name is Rasputin. Why wouldn't she be a Rasputin too? They both have the same. They're brother and sister, same name. But it's because she's female. She's like Rasputana. Do they do that in Russia? I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't know. I can't find it. I gotta go. I gotta go online, guys. I gotta do it. It's embarrassing. Magic's name. 'Cause I got it wrong. Yeah, it's Ilyana. Oh my god, I was gonna spell it that way too. Oh, that was something else. Yana. Yeah, I was like, that looks wrong. Ilyana. And then I don't know what should her boyfriend's name be, everybody? Tommy. Tommy. We won't have Ilyana say anything back. Ilyana Rasputana. She won't say anything back. She's just gonna be cowering in a corner. Well, what happens after her boyfriend dies? This is messed up. Um, she's gonna have to decide the darkness is overtaking her and she has to leave on her own. That you can't run from your darkness. So she wants to cure it, even if it means sacrificing herself. After running for it, she is wanted by Shield for the government as a killer. No, I'm not putting that in. I'm cutting that. Cut. The X-Men wanted to defend her, but they have no real power to do so. What? Magic is light and dark. Oh, okay. So these were some notes that I have that where I was starting to develop it, like kind of like wet clay up above, but then below here I have what happens after her boyfriend dies. Her boyfriend dies, and she's gonna get in trouble. So he's got to be buried on the mansion grounds, and so we'll have Tommy's funeral, Tommy's funeral. I don't know who Tommy was. Hopefully there's not a Tommy in the X-Men right now where they're like, "You're killing this character." I'm just making up a random bro right now. We haven't gotten as deep as like who was he as a mutant to the X-Men? What was his power? He would just be another student, okay? She lost her boyfriend, okay? Tommy's funeral, X-Men gathered around a coffin. He is laid to rest on the beautiful school ground cemetery. I don't know. Do they even have a school ground cemetery? See, that's why you have to research this shit. What if I get it wrong? What if they don't have one? What if, or am I allowed to add one? I don't know. I don't care. I'm just going to roll. If there was a Marvel editor, they could always change that. So we need more where she unleashes her powers. And she has a new dark power that's off the chart for her, even for her alpha levels. She is an alpha level mutant. It's even greater than her dark child farm code monster. She goes berserk during battle, and Colossus jumps in and calms her. Okay, so let's see, cemetery. Okay, we're gonna do the. Okay, so then we'll get through the burial, and we'll have magic close on magic. Head down. Tears streaming. We gotta show her vulnerable. We gotta show her human. We gotta like her. We just got into this and she's already sliced up her boyfriend by accident and she doesn't even know why. It's because her darkness is taking over and she knows it. Let's have Professor X notice. Good old Charles. Good old Charles. Charles. Good old Charles. Charles Xavier notices. Notices. They flicker. Notices her grief. Um, Magic tosses a flower to Tommy. Magic leaves the funeral. Watch on. She disappears to the distance. So Magic leaves early. You got to have actions that tell us a lot about what's going on with the character without saying any words, right? You got to have the right visuals. This is showing that Magic is wanting to run away from not just the funeral, but the whole situation. And that maybe she knows she has to get away because her dark side is taking fucking over. That's what this story is about. When you're doing a script and a story, one way to kind of, I call it your compass because it's always going to guide you in the right direction. That is to know your themes. If you know your themes and what you're trying to say, it doesn't have to be the most complex, thoughtful, deep thing at all. It could just be, fighting your dark side is hard. It's so simple, but you want to make a cool story that has visuals and lines people say and foreshadowing and stuff that kind of connects to that idea. Okay. And you can do interesting things with the simple idea of fighting your dark side is hard. You could tell a million different stories with that theme, with different characters, different situations, different places, different cultures, different everything. It's a beautiful fucking thing. But that's why it's important to kind of know your themes. And for me, I decided the theme of magic that I thought worked for her character was her dark demon side taken over, which is not even an original idea. That's not some great idea on my part, but I'm going to do something original and interesting with it. And that's where magic happens in art, if that makes sense. People, even as I tell you guys this, magic number one has to do with her dark side and her this dark child demon keeps appearing before her and going like Ah. Like it's she's dealing with her dark side in that one too. But that artist, that writer is doing it differently than the way I'm handling it. So I think both are still true to the character and are good enough ideas and work for her type of character and the type of situation she's in. Her having that dark demonic side is not all fun and games. In fact, that's one of the things that makes Marvel Comics so good is and other comics out there, because even when a character has powers, a lot of times their life is no fucking picnic. The powers don't fucking solve anything. They have so many more problems. And Magic, she got problems. All right. More powers, more problems. You understand? So thanks guys for watching me write this. It's been fun so far. Are we having fun? Are we learning? Are we learning class? That's about 25 minutes in. Maybe I'll keep going till like 30, but after this, I'm gonna keep writing. I'm gonna keep writing this. I love this. Because now, guys, I wish I had more time because I'm taking Magic to the danger room. Magic walks into the danger room and um and Magic walking into the danger room, and I've always been kind of a danger room fan. I always try to figure out ways to put the danger room in my fucking if I come up with a little fan story or whatever. I don't know. I just like it. I don't know. Has it changed these days? Is it the same as it's always been, or have they changed it in any dramatic way that I should know about that I have to research now? I don't know. I don't care. I'm going to do it my way, bitch. So that's the beauty of doing fan fiction. But I try to treat it as if I'm have an assignment from Marvel because I see that as training too. Because we're in the gym of writing, guys. If you're like, I want to be a writer, but you don't write every night, you are not in the gym of writing. You got to get to the gym. It's not easy. It takes a lot of time and discipline. And if you have a life and wife and kids, it could be the hardest fucking thing in the world to get that time. But I promise you, if you write down your ideas, by the time you get home, you'll get so excited to get those ideas on paper. Write your ideas down at work on a little note file on your phone or whatever you have to do. Maybe like a tablet. Write them down. If you don't write them down and then you try to remember them later, you won't remember them. And you'll be fucking miserable. And as David Lynch says, you'll want to put a bullet in your head. So write them down. Write all your ideas down. Get home. Take 20, 30 minutes like I just did. I've already written 6 pages of comic. Of course, I did have like page 1 almost done by the time we started this video. So maybe let's call it 5. I've done 5 pages of comic. A lot of pros need it. It takes them like all day to write 8 pages of comic. Okay, I'm doing it in like 30 minutes. Magic walking to the danger room. Um, into the danger room. Completely, completely empty. Completely empty. Professor X, Charles. I'll say Charles. Charles, Xavier, and Shadowcat. We'll say Kitty Pride. Kitty Pride watch from the viewing tower above. Magic looking off panel up to the tower, right? The tower. And she says, see, oh, I'm putting in dialogue now because I can't help it. I just keep hearing Magic. You tower. As she does, she pulls out her soul sword. She uses the amazing soul sword from her chest. Yeah, that's fucking epic. That's fucking baller. And then die dynamic angle, deep angle of Magic's Soul Sword and ready in its full glory. That's part of the fun of Magic is the big oversized fantasy sword with the hot babe wielding it. It's cool as fuck. In fact, if anything, Magic, there's been so many, there's been versions of her, obviously, over the years. And she's had like a little lightsabery sword. She's had a sword that just looked like an awesome Excalibur style sword. And now it's just grown and grown and grown. And it's like, okay, well, I'm going to make part of this story. One of the notes for myself is to give Magic like the biggest sword she's ever had. Okay. I'm a go big or go home kind of guy. That's why I make comics. Anyway, I feel like it's been a little over 30 minutes, and I love you guys for making it this far with me and watching me write and put out this little Magic fanfic. It's not just a fanfic. I'm doing it because I for the love of it, but I'm doing it so I can show you guys me writing a script and making that script awesome. And how, my process a little bit, and maybe you can learn something too if you want to write your own comics. Hopefully, some of these tips could help you feel more relaxed, more strong. Don't ever be scared of a blank page. You don't have to be. If you get all your research and notes down, and you know what you're going to write, you can hear your characters. You're into it, man. You're focused. You're doing this crazy balancing act of hearing your characters, understanding the environment they're in, understanding how things like how to tell a story panel to panel and make it big and interesting. It's a crazy process, but it ends up making pretty damn cool entertainment, pretty great stories. So I'm proud of it. I don't know. It took me years and years to develop to where I am now in this method, if you will. And I'm really honored that you guys stuck around and watched me do this and listen to me for a bit. Hope you learned something, and I'll see you on the next one. I'll do another one of these if you guys like it. If you thought it was boring as fuck, then no, I'm not going to do it again. But I had fun doing it because I just got about 5 more pages done on a comic book script, you guys, and that was damn fun. And it wasn't that hard. Just pure, not when you're having fun. That's what I believe in. That's what you should strive for. So I'll see you on the next one, and don't forget to check out our website. Check out all the cool comics I have for sale and all that other good stuff. I am Von Klaus. I am Rise Again Comics, and I will see you on the next one. Until then, stay true.
Von's Haunted Castle. Ha 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 ha.